If we go back a little bit in history, through the 1970s, everything was really produced by very talented craftsmen. And even in 1952, when Ben Hogan started his company, and the reason he started it was he wanted to make sure that the equipment that the amateurs were playing was as good as the equipment that the golf professional got to play. And quite frankly, after the 1970s, everything moved to mass production. Mass production is probably the lowest level of quality that you can achieve in equipment today, and everything should be produced as a set. None of it is. It's all produced single stick, and there's no synergy from club to club. The reason for starting this company was specifically with all the new technologies we had in production and manufacturing. I wanted to make sure that we could build equipment that was finely tuned, high quality, and would allow the golfer an opportunity to lower their scores substantially.
Back in 1996, when we started this company, custom fitting golf clubs was still in sort of an infant stage, and Don and I, both being above average in terms of our height and our builds, we both struggled with finding equipment that was going to suit our game properly, suit our body and swing style properly. And then, you know, to boot, you had to be able to have the equipment that was manufactured correctly to those tolerances, and making sure that every set of clubs was manufactured with some synergy from club to club. And back in '96, when we started this company, that was basically non-existent, very difficult to find. So we started this company with the understanding that we need to improve our own games through custom fitting and getting the right tools in our hands and then manufacturing them correctly.
It's very difficult for golfers to understand that a set of clubs they may have purchased wherever, whatever brand it is, that errant shots flying all over the golf course are anything a result but their own bad swings. And that isn't the case. It's a result of the equipment being untuned, not tuned at all. And what we do different is to make sure that every club in the bag is tuned precisely to each other. Again, it's like playing a piano. If it isn't tuned correctly, it's not going to sound good. And if clubs aren't tuned correctly for each individual, they're not going to play well. When I was president of the Hogan Company, we were working on some designs, one of which was the Hogan GCD, which is the graduated cavity design. And we spent, as we did on all of our designs, a great deal of engineering time and iron Byron with reiterations, many reiterations, till we got our dispersion angles to the least amount and got the most consistent results from the club before we ever went to tooling and then to production from that point. I used that same design concept. In fact, we worked very hard in our initial designs with our own engineering team to make sure that we had all of our weight distribution in the 4 quadrants quite precise. We went through our 6 iterations with iron Byron, which again is not done today. And it resulted in a dispersion pattern that was very, very tight, resulted in much more accurate shots, which is, as a result, is what lowers scores for the players that use our golf equipment. Our designs are what I would call very traditional. You don't see very heavy soles and a lot of weird rounded looks and efforts that are really a result of a group of guys getting together trying to figure out how to market something instead of how to develop and create the most precise instrument possible for golfers. After I retired the first time from the Ben Hogan Company, I decided I wanted to start another company that really was going to be involved in very high quality equipment and fine-tuned clubs. But I also realized that I only had so many years left that I was going to be involved in the business, and so it made sense for me to really look forward to having someone in my family join me and then build on from that.
If you would like to know more about Dimension Z Golf, surf the web to DimensionZ.com or call 888-271-1889. And now let's return to Don and Brad Ingerman, the father and son team directing golf technology innovators, Dimension Z Golf.
You know, working with him has been a great experience, I think, for both of us. Being a father-son team, we can really rib each other and get on each other without taking anything too personally, which really can be very productive around the factory and making sure that we get things done on a timely basis and making sure that we're always on the same page. So there's a lot of give and take in how we deal with each other and how we talk to each other, and sometimes it's not always pretty, but we seem to get the job done.
Well, you know, when you're manufacturing a product, it's important to try to make a profit, and so it's always fun to give the production manager a little shot that he needs to produce a little faster, a little more efficiently.
Yeah, the famous saying is if I could get him to work just a little bit faster, we might make a little bit of money today. We each have our duties that we have to get done every day. My duties are more focused on the back of the house, the production, and making sure that fulfillment is occurring in a timely manner and that the quality of the product is there on every single iron or wood or wedge or putter that we put out the door. His functions are a little more towards the front of the house, processing orders, dealing with phone calls from golf professionals and fitters, dealing with consumer phone calls and things like that. So while we work fairly independently of each other on a daily basis, we still come together for a certain amount of time every day to talk about what we're doing and discuss maybe strategic changes that we might want to make to the future, whether it be for product development, production development, fulfillment, marketing, whatever. I really have some wonderful fond memories of him introducing the game of golf to me as a young child, and understanding that this is a gentleman's game, and that you're not just upholding the traditions of the game of golf, but you're reflecting them upon yourself and your own personality and how important that is. So I really appreciate having those opportunities at such a young age, and consequently have begun passing some of those traditions on to my sons as well, in introducing them to the game of golf and why it's not just a game, that the philosophies of golf and everything are bigger than the game. They almost can define life. There's not a lot of companies and a lot of people out there that you can really respect and learn a lot from on a daily basis, and I made the decision early on that I felt I could learn from my father and go to work with him and really not only build our father-son relationship, but also build our work life and our careers around our relationship. And because we get along so well, it's been a very easy give and take scenario.
When I started this company, it was my goal to eventually have him running it and still maintain a family orientation in the business.
Well, part of it was he needed somebody to do the hard work. But I think a lot of it really has to do with, you know, he raised me to be a hands-on person. He never raised me to sit back and watch people do the work. He raised me to do the work. And I think it was a real natural shift for him to bring me on board the company to help make sure a lot of that production, a lot of that hard work got done, and got done to our specification and our needs. So I think that went a long way in my mind in building confidence to the product, the designs, and where we could take that design into the future of the golf industry.
As we slowly transition, I expect to be the 80-year-old man sitting behind the desk with two hairs sticking out and saying, you know, I have a degree from Harvard and have all kinds of patents, and I forgot to put my socks on this morning. Our company is a family, and everyone that works there and their family is important to us, and we make sure that we're always involved and understand what everybody's doing. It isn't a 9-to-5 job, punch the clock, do your 18 pieces today and go home. It's the passion. They're golfers, they care, and they know what difference it makes.
If you would like to know more about Dimension Z Golf, surf the web to DimensionZ.com or call 888-271-1889.